4 senior ranking police officers have been charged in connection with the killing of 6-month-old baby Samantha Pendo that occurred in the great county of Kisumu way back in 2017.
The Director of Public Prosecution approved charges ranging from murder, rape and torture against the 4 officers.
However, 7 other police officers were excluded from the charge sheet. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, the National Police Service has informed the court that the 11th suspect, Mohammed Baa, who's a retired police officer, remains at large, with efforts to locate him at his rural home in Wajir, bearing no fruits.
In a record 30 pages charge sheet for police inspectors John Chingo Masha, Lina Kogei, Cyprian Robi and James Rono sat patiently as the charges were read to them. The 4 officers faced charges of murder, rape and crimes against humanity under the International Crimes Act.
The 3rd accused person is not just a responsible citizen this country in the capacity of a police officer, but she is such senior police officer in the capacity of Chief Inspector of Police.
The positions and the roles that the accused persons held that informed the arraignment. It is not in doubt that the accused persons are police officers. And I want to invite the court to consider that position vis-a-vis civilians, victims. We cannot ignore.
The court was informed that under their command, their subordinates stormed civilians' home, allegedly tortured and raped over 20 women.
Court enters plea of not guilty to all the charges in the amended information as read to all the accused persons in English, and they pleaded to each of the counts not guilty.
The victims' lawyers who opposed their release also poked holes on why the charge sheet contained only 4 accused persons, yet the court on January 30th directed all 11 accused persons to take plea.
The victims, in this case, went through horrendous experiences, as described the particulars of the offenses. And it will be fair to all parties that an express term restricting any contact whatsoever.
But in a quick rejoinder, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution stated that it has reviewed the case in light of new findings, and the DPP has exercised its prosecutorial powers.
The position of the IO is that he is seeking for 7 working days to be able to conduct victim assessment.
The DPP should not be directed to institute criminal charges.
The National Commission on Human Rights, equally, we intend to call them as witnesses. They will be very useful witnesses for the state. The IPOA, we shall be calling them as witnesses. They are investigators in this case.
Since the case began in 2022, 10 suspects have been arraigned in court, with 4 of them now formally charged. The 11th accused person, Mohammed Baa, retired police officer, has never been arrested, with NPS stating efforts to locate him at his rural home in Wajir County has so far been unsuccessful.
So between now and the 7 days, I will release you on same terms and on those 5 conditions.
Justice Margaret Mwigai has directed the officers to adhere to the guidelines of personal recognizance, with the case set for mention in a week's time.
Tunaona kama tunaweza pata haki ya mtoto wangu. Nimetafuta haki ya mwanangu kutoka mwanzo mpaka sasa, lakini naona kama Mungu anaelekea, anafungua njia. Juu kuchukua tu hiyo plea peke yake ilikuwa ni shida, lakini venye sasa imepatikana, najua tutapata.
Even as the 4 senior police officers have taken a plea of not guilty, the Law Society of Kenya and the victims' lawyers have questioned the rationale that was used by the DPP in excluding the 7 other police officers. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani, Lokot.